You are now entering the box. Hey, we are back on another episode of Inside the Box 2021. We are going every single week. That is the goal. I am here with Kristi Mitchell.
Hey, hey.
Kristi Mitchell Photography.
That's me.
Fellow ginger.
I like it. We got to unite.
Yes. Thanks for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
I'm excited to have you on. So obviously, based on the name, I think you could tell that she's the owner of Kristi Mitchell Photography. How long? When did you start? Like
13 years ago.
13 years ago?
Yeah.
Have you been doing it as your only thing for 13 years?
No, that actually just started, I guess almost a year and a half ago. I taught photography out for District 186.
Oh, okay.
So, juniors and seniors would come to me. And
Where at?
Out at the Career Center, Capital Area Career
okay.
Center, yeah.
Huh.
So I was the photography teacher out there.
Yeah, I loved photography in high school.
Did you?
Yeah, shout out to Mr. Fremgen. He's probably not watching this, but he was the
okay.
man. Don't know who that is, do you?
No, what school?
That was at Southeast.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I know, like the Lanphier art teachers, and because they would always be like, "Oh, I love when my students come," and because they know about it. Mm-hmm. But I loved it. I really did.
It was all when I took it. It was all like printing your own and everything, like a dark room and doing that. Yeah,
Yep.
It was cool.
We did that. I kind of had to move it into like the history of photography after a while because. I mean, you can't.
Like a separate class?
Well, like one of the quarters was history of photography, and because I was actually supposed to be doing it for a career, and really you can't make a ton of money if you're printing and doing the dark room and film. So
yeah, it's not.
But it was the coolest part about it.
It'd be hard to set that. I mean, people do it, I guess, still like have a little dark room set up at home or whatever.
That would be cool.
It was fun though. It was interesting doing it, especially like doing stuff that's like nowadays is super easy as far as like multiple exposures of like mixing photos and stuff. Like that was pretty interesting to try to do that stuff.
Yep. And now look how easy though we have computers that just that's why I said like I had to teach Photoshop and Lightroom, and then so I kind of moved it to the history of it so that I could,
So you taught all of that?
I did.
Nice.
I did do all that.
How long did you do that for?
7 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So I loved it. Like even one of my second shooters is a former student of mine.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. I, before I got into this, or kind of at the beginning of, Oopbox, I guess, I always thought that it would be super cool for some reason to just like teach the stuff that I know.
I would be doing it still, but my business started growing.
Yeah.
And it got to the point, where you're like, am I going to teach and run a business and be a mom and not do anything amazing, or be amazing at two things?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's tough. It's tough when you got a lot of stuff on your plate. I deal with kind of battle that constantly, picking and choosing.
But I did love it, and I loved the kids and stuff. I do miss it. Mm-hmm. There's times when I miss it, but again, I like having more time to focus on other things too. So.
Yeah. So when did you say you stopped that and went full time?
Well, it's actually when I got my studio downtown. That's when it kind of was like the fence jump over. Yeah. I was like, okay, this is it.
Definitely a commitment once you sign that.
It was. So last July, not 2020, 19, I gave notice. So I didn't go back that fall. And then, of course, the pandemic hit.
Then you got hit with the pandemic.
Yes. So, of course, at first I was like, I could be teaching from home. And then I'm like, oh, I could be teaching from home. How horrible would that be?
Yeah. I'm glad my kids aren't in a position where I had to deal with that or think about it or anything yet. And I still got a couple of years for that all to get leveled out, hopefully.
Well, I don't know. I know that mine are hybrid right now, and I don't know. I think that they like it. I think that they like the 2 years, or the 2 days a week.
I feel like I kind of feel bad for the kids. I feel like they're like, even though the kids might like being home, I think some of them, but I think in the long run, it's probably worse for them just not having that, especially like certain ages where it's like a prime time for the development of social skills and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
You mean like 8th graders? Yes, I mean, they miss their friends. And even now, my kids, they do like the last name.
Yeah.
And some of their kids, if you don't have your last name, A through L, You don't go to school with them at all.
Yeah,
It's
crazy.
It's hard.
So how'd you get into photography?
I actually got into it just because I loved it. And so I started like doing
What age do you think you started? If you had to,
when I loved it.
well, when you just really like started getting, like, how'd you get interested in it, I guess?
So I think it was probably when I had my first kid is when I bought like my first like, ooh, love this camera. And then I started taking pictures of him because I honestly was taking him all the time to whatever, photo studios, because back then not a lot of moms did it.
Yeah.
Then I started taking some classes and then going to some like conventions. That's when I started falling in love with it. Like I'd go away for a weekend and listen to these photographers speak, and I would learn like.
That's cool.
I loved it. I still do it. Like I am.
Keep you inspired.
Yeah, like learning new things and learning from other photographers. Like. I mean, I think that's like the best way to do it.
For sure.
So I try to do like a few conferences a year, and so yeah, here we are.
How did so you signed your lease at that place, or at your studio? Where is your studio? Downtown?
Yeah, it's corner of 5th and Monroe, 427 East Monroe, so right across from Galina's.
Oh, okay.
Dumb Records is my neighbor. Yeah. But before this, I had another one on State. So this is actually my second
actually, I know right
studio.
where you're at. Yeah. Where was the one on State at?
It was kind of down from District 23.
Okay.
On State Street right there.
Nice.
Yeah. It was small. It was perfect for me to, it's a nerve-wracking thing when you're like trying to do that. So I did that and teach at the same time, and I kind of was seeing if I could take on a studio, and then now all of a sudden I just jumped right downtown, and I love it.
That's cool. You're downtown.
I love it.
I started. We just had an extra bedroom in our house, so that was kind of my space I started out of. Now I wasn't doing like photography or video shoots out of that room. You know what I mean? Because I'm going to most customers like places of business, but I was lucky I had a little bit of space there to kind of get me started.
Well, I think in the beginning I had my cameras and I was doing more outside stuff, and then I realized like I had to have something inside, and then too I need a place for brides to come, and
exactly.
I do boudoir stuff, a place for my seniors to camp out and have our clothes and changing, and it just was a great move.
How big is the space downtown?
1,300 square feet.
Wow,
it's beautiful.
I think this, including the garage, is like 1,500.
See, yeah.
Does that seem like it's about right? I think that's the math I did.
It's really long. I have like beds set up in there. It's a place I can hold all my couches because I kind of have an issue with that.
I know that's one thing with photography, man. You got to have like when you're doing shoots like with people, there's always like a lot of props or like different things and sets to be able to set up. So yeah, is it tough managing all that different stuff? I mean. How many couches do you got there? You said all your couches.
How many couches do I have? Well, I'm doing better about selling them when I'm like not using them as much. But for a while, I had them in like a garage and a storage unit, and then in my studio. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. But I love them, and
Well, when you find a cool one too,
that photographs so well.
Yeah, unique one.
But
is it hard to not overuse a certain thing?
It is. And so that's why, I even have this one in my head. It's a beautiful vintage yellow couch. And I started like seeing like on my Facebook and social media, like, man, that couch is in a lot of these pictures. So I sold it to another photographer so she can do the same. But
that'd be good. Set up like a trade. You could swap stuff out with them, a little Facebook group or something.
I have thought that it would be awesome to do like a Facebook group for photographers, like props swap.
Yeah.
Like you're done with your couch.
That's a great thing.
Couch for a couch, chair for a chair, backdrop for a backdrop. Because, sometimes you just can't keep... I don't know. I don't feel inspired when I keep photographing on the same thing.
Right. And then I think clients also are probably going to be like, somebody already photographed on that. You got something else? Eventually, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, didn't you use that couch last fall, Kristi? So I do try to at least switch it out every, 6 months to a year.
Yeah.
But at the moment right now, I probably have 7 up in my studio.
Jeez. And it's upstairs studio, right?
Second floor. But, I do boudoir.
You're making your kids pull that stuff up there.
Oh, yeah. They earn their keep for sure. One of my twins, actually, he goes with me to most of my stuff, and he's awesome at reflecting. He's so good at it. So I ended up paying him like everyone, and he'll unload and load for me.
There you go.
Yeah.
Keep it in the family.
Yes. Yes.
So, what are some of the primary types of photography that you focus on?
Well, I focus mainly on wedding, senior, portrait and boudoir stuff. I do not do the little ones as much anymore.
Yeah.
If I know you and you're a past client, then I will. But usually the new ones I send off to the other photographers in Springfield that are good. I mean, they're great at it.
Right. It's kind of like a different set of props and stuff too. You gotta
have. And I do have
whatever you're specializing in, you have to have like the stuff that all goes along with
all the stuff. And it's just a different kind of photography too. I mean, so I just realized
a pain in the butt too.
These girls that do it only newborns, I mean, I give them shout out, like that's some work.
We had we had our first kid, and that one up there, I know that people can't see it, but
I love that.
They had him like bent over with his butt in the air, and he just pooped crap everywhere.
Yellow everywhere,
just a cannon. I was like, Jesus. I think I was in the other room when it happened, but people can't see it, but we have one of my son in my camera bag. I saw that somewhere else, though, so I told her that was one I wanted to do. I saw somebody else do something like that.
Isn't photography kind of like that, though? Like, oh, I saw this or whatever.
Get ideas, inspire each other, and so, I packed my bag up and took it out there. I was like, all right, we got to stick him in this thing.
No, that's so cute. Well, yeah, so I do like them, and I have, like, some of my old brides that are, like, my absolute favorite brides that will have babies and reach out to me, and I do them, but I kind of tend to stay with the older crowd a little bit. I like them. Mm-hmm.
How many weddings do you typically do a year, you think?
Well, so last year I had 21 scheduled.
It's scheduled.
I ended up shooting 15.
Well, that's not bad.
No, not for pandemic craziness.
Did they cut down a lot of them to like small?
Very. Which, I of course changed contracts, and I mean it was such a hard time, and some of them moved to this spring, so this spring is crazy for me. Some of them canceled, some of them went to the courthouse, but I ended up shooting 15 weddings, a lot more that were smaller. I didn't have very many 500 people weddings last year, but
did it make it easier? Not having a lot of people.
It's great.
You could probably have more time. They don't feel as rushed or pressured or something.
Well, and I think that the brides, honestly, I think the beginning they were sad about it, but at the end of the day, it's such a more intimate time that I think at the end they were like,
yeah,
okay,
for sure. No, I think people. I think a lot of people when they get married, they battle with that. Do I want to have a small wedding? Do I want to have a big wedding? Because I know my wife and I talked about it, but then we kind of settled on. Well, she has a huge family,
right?
And we just decided, but we did end up doing like a little bit of a getaway. We did it at Starved Rock.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it was amazing. It was such a good little thing, and it was nice because we went there early, so we got a couple days with just like us and a couple of her the family members before people started showing up. So that was really nice, and it was like a little mini vacation for everybody, everybody just talked about how great it was because it was like a little mini vacation. But
Starved Rock's not even like it's in Illinois,
right? It's
so
crazy.
Beautiful.
No, it's definitely it's so it's just so different over there. Like you said, it's like you're not even in Illinois. Actually, have you ever been out to the park in Sherman? What's it called? It's right by the river, right there.
Yes, it's yes, I have been out there. Same thing.
Yeah.
It's got all like the ledges and you can get down there.
My wife and I walked through there for my birthday. We went over there and did a little hike through there. And I was like, why have I never been here? I had actually been in the parking lot for some reason, like doing photos, I think, or video for a wedding. Like we parked right there for something, then going over the rail. But I'd never been in the park that I remember, at least, and I'm like, why did nobody ever take me here? Like I've lived here like basically my whole life.
I've only gone because of like photo shoots and like the park part where you park and they used to do like shoot the zombies or something. What is that?
Never done that one. Oh yeah, no, I do remember that.
Like,
was that there though?
So there's the place like in the front. And
that's
then
in Carpenter though, right? That's on the other side.
That is the other side of the rail.
Yeah, so on the rail side, what's the name of it on the rail side? God, I can't remember. It's I can't think of it. But Yeah, that was the side I've never been to. I've been to the other side, the carpenter side, where they got like horses and
right.
all the stuff over there.
Well, and then for a while on that same side, they did have like Carter Brothers, and then I don't know, they would know.
Yeah.
But I've shot weddings back there.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice. It's a little mosquito-y.
Mm-hmm. Well, I've been up to Alaska, so my perception on a mosquito-y has changed a lot because it was ridiculous up there when I was there.
It must be a north thing. My brother lives in Minnesota, and it is horrible every 4th of July.
We were doing this camping thing, and literally my friend and I, 2 of our friends went to like out on this boat to go take some stuff to a campsite, and they were coming back to get us. And we were stood there for like an hour, and we just took turns swatting mosquitoes off of each other, like with this little electric racket thing. It was a beautiful place, but man, those mosquitoes were serious.
And they're big.
Yeah, it was crazy.
We have to like put our socks like over our pants and like put hoods on sitting out at the fire because we go every 4th of July. My brother has a cabin on a lake
cool.
up there.
Yeah, so Minnesota's beautiful.
Great, but again,
it gets cold as shit in the wintertime. Have you gone in the winter?
Oh yeah.
So cold.
He's lived up there, I guess, 10 years.
Oh, okay.
So of course, yeah,
nice.
We go. We like to go in the summer.
My brother
though.
used to live up there.
Really?
Yeah. He when he first got a job with Microsoft, they had him relocate up there.
I love it.
Went up there quite a bit.
I really do.
Visit
like
him. Yeah, it's nice up there. Mall of America. Ever gone there?
Oh yeah, of course.
Pretty crazy.
Of course.
Well, that's good. You didn't get too many weddings canceled, at least. You know, I worry. There's certain industries that just really got, dinged by it. And like, I have the photo booth, and
yes.
I'm glad I don't like heavily rely on the income from that at all, because we're the same situation. You know what I mean? People will even if they were getting married, if it was small,
they weren't going to do the photo.
Yeah, they're like, what are we going to have a photo booth for like 15 people?
Yes.
So I understand, you know what I mean? How did it go as far as like people wanting refunds and stuff like that? I know that was a thing that was like, I talked to a lot of photographers. I'm in photo booth groups. I asked people what they were doing. And I mean, I felt like everybody kind of had the same general consensus, like the deposit, it's a deposit. A non-refundable deposit, we will allow you to reschedule and use that deposit, but you know what I mean?
Honestly, none of my brides were asking for it, but also too, so if they did, one went to the courthouse and they really weren't doing it, so I did I'm doing their 1 year anniversary stuff, and they were the ones that came up with it. They're like, we'll just do pictures at 1 year. I was like, perfect. Yeah. All the brides that wanted to or needed to move, I was like, do you want to, we just changed the contract. We changed the date. We kind of changed some of the stuff. Obviously, if they were doing like a 10 to 12 hour wedding day contract, we didn't need that anymore. Right. So I would change that up. They were great. I was willing to work with anybody. I mean, I feel like I had the, thought of we're all in this together. Like we need to work with
And that's
everybody.
what I try to explain. I'm like you gotta, like this one lady just got so mad at me, and I'm like this stuff like pays, paying for stuff for this. I have subscriptions. It's like, I was like, I got employees, and I mean, it was just like, I don't know. She was being a little bit ridiculous, but we ended up getting it worked out. I tried to be as understanding as possible,
right?
But explained, we're dealing with this also. It's not just you. So it's it was a little frustrating though, but I guess I can understand where people are coming from on that.
I think that everybody kind of panicked. Like, I know that right when my first wedding was canceled, that's when I realized this is like really real. Like, wait, what? Yeah. You're canceling your wedding?
I remember I came to my wife and I was like, hey, it was, we had just put my son down to bed, and it was like, or it was a little after that, but it was like 9:30 at night or something. And I was like, hey, and this was before they started closing stuff down or anything. I was like, I think I'm going to go to the store and just buy like 2 weeks worth of food.
I'm getting a little
nervous. She was like, why? And I was like, I don't know. My brother kind of, he did it, and he kind of convinced me that's probably something I should think about. And I did. And I went and bought a bunch of food and a bunch of stuff. And lo and behold, it was a good thing I did, because, we were worried at the beginning. I mean, we were worried about so we stayed home. We didn't do anything,
Oh yeah, I think I know that when I went and ran to the store to get the toilet paper and all this stuff, and the first masks I saw, I was like, wait, what? Why are these people wearing this? Like, I think zombie apocalypse is like happening
creepy.
or something. But no, I think the first wedding that got canceled like that April, I was like, what? And then my next April wedding, and then all my May weddings, and I was like, oh my, I panicked. I did panic. Like, I think I was so nervous. Like, I just got this downtown studio. I still obviously have to pay for that.
You've only been there for a little bit.
Right. And I have my house and all of a sudden I was crazy, but.
And it's different too when you have kids that you have to like take care of.
Like they eat
like
food.
if I was by myself, that's all good. I'm gonna eat
Noodles.
some ramen for a little while. You could taking care of yourself is easy. You could live, in a car if you had to.
Right.
But when you start having kids, you got to take care of and provide them a good life and stuff. It starts a little bit different motivation and things you got to think about and plan for.
You do. And I love it, but yeah, it starts getting scary. Like when you have to feed all this, and like you said, when it starts happening, you're like, what is going on? But it worked out.
Yeah. So things have kind of been getting better now.
They're getting better, obviously. I think it's good for everybody. Last year was hard and we kind of all adjusted, and I think it was a good eye opener. Like, you need to make sure that
got a little savings or something, a little plan
But even for it being 2020, seniors were great, and I still shot my weddings, most of them, and so it's been really good. Yeah.
Yeah. Where, how obviously we do a lot of social media and whatnot. How big has social media been in your business and succeeding and just in general growing your business?
Well, it's huge. Yeah. I mean, when we were on the lockdown or whatever, I kind of went around to some downtown businesses.
Yeah, I remember that was good.
So I was doing like, hey, porch pictures per se for these businesses, like, what are you guys offering? What can I do to help you? So I would do some pictures and do that, which was huge on social media. I shared it, DSI shared it, they would share it with those companies. And so
that was a very good idea.
It was awesome for, I think, everybody, but for me, I was just downtown, so I didn't even know any of these business owners as well, and now I got to know them. Hopefully helped if I could. Also, I realized I'm a little stir crazy. At first, I was like, I can sit here, and I realized I cannot sit.
Yeah, I hate sitting still.
I thought that I could, and then after a week, I was like, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
So
that's one thing I like about this is, whenever I have like new business owners I've never met before on, getting to know them a little bit and, spending some time talking, learning about their business, learning about how they got started, stuff like that. It's pretty fun. It
is fun because sometimes you're like, I didn't even know that you did that.
Yeah,
or,
exactly.
Like in our networking group, I love it. But social media is huge. It's overwhelming.
It is. And especially as new platforms come out, it's trying to stay on top of it all. But in like, especially for anything that's very visual, and obviously photography or pictures are what are going to sell. Whereas you think about back in the day, unless you're taking out like a print ad or something, like going around, here's my portfolio,
here's my
like
big
a big book
of pictures. Yes,
it turned out very good, huh? No, it's amazing what it's done. So it's a little bit scary the power they have, but I could definitely see, with photography, and I mean, we do some photography. We don't like advertise it. And I stopped doing it of like individual stuff.
Yeah.
Like even wedding videos, did that for a long time. And I actually liked doing wedding videos. I just liked one, you're producing more of like a film and telling like a longer story.
Yeah.
But it just got to the point where it was like, one, it was my weekend, and and the same thing's kind of happening with the photo booth where you're booked out so far in advance. I don't know what's going to be happening on that Saturday.
Am I going to be alive?
Yeah. It's like, is it going to be a pandemic? No.
Right.
But with young kids now, I got 2 kids under 2, and I'm just trying to spend as much time and enjoy that time as I can. So I've kind of moved away from the wedding videos, and like with Oopbox has been so busy that like I would find myself, it was fine filming the videos and everything, but then I would take so long to edit them that people would start getting mad. You know what I mean?
Were they?
Well, because they're just busy, and it's like, and I would take a long time. Like I understand, I'm not mad at anybody that's got mad about how long it's taken.
I don't know. Some like a girlfriend of mine that's a she was doing a thing on TikTok today, videographer, but she's like, videographer, no, videographer. But she gave me like how long she takes, and I was like, really? And she's like, yes, that's what I tell them, and that's it.
Yeah.
So
What'd she say, just out of curiosity?
I think she was like 16 weeks.
Really? See, yeah, I was doing a long time.
Longer than that?
With some of them, yeah. I was just, you know what I mean? Like when I get in here during the week, I'm like,
right.
Got stuff scheduled.
Then you don't want to go
and,
home at night.
Yeah, and then the other thing is I would try scheduling out editing him right afterwards, but then there's just so much other stuff that comes up that I got to take care of for customers that it was just. And I was, you know, I don't want any brides to be mad when we get their video and be able to share it, and I understand, you know what I mean. My standpoint, though, was it's kind of nice to get it later because you kind of forget about everything that happened, and then all of a sudden you get it, and it's like, oh my God, I completely forgot about that.
It's a present that you forgot in your closet.
Yes, exactly. Old Christmas present. No, it was fun, and it was also cool knowing that it was something that they were going to have and watch the rest of their lives, which
and
is
generations. Their kids would watch it.
Yeah,
yes.
exactly. It's like a timeless thing. So I don't know. I might do something in the future someday, but it was.
I love the videos. Like whenever I have a wedding and they do have a video, I get excited waiting for the video to come out. Like, ooh, what is it? You know, what did they get? I love it. I think that it's great.
Yeah, no, it's good. You know, it's both. You know, you got the still pictures that you could print and hang up and cherish and easy to look at, have on your phone background, whatever, you know, and then the video is just seeing the emotion and hearing, you know what I mean? It's a good combination of things to have. I always tell people, I'm like, you're getting married once, ideally.
Right.
So, I mean,
Splurge
if you can make the investment, just do it, you know?
I think that, you know, the big ones, photographers and the venues and stuff are like your first thing. And I think that people forget about the video until later. They're like an afterthought, like, oh, shoot, I need to get that. But I think that it's important. It's kind of like people maybe do the same thing with a DJ. And I'm like, that's important. You spent all this money on a venue. Yeah. Want them to stay and enjoy themselves.
Yeah, and some DJs, you know, going to a lot of weddings, it's amazing seeing the difference on how big of difference it can have with the DJ, and not just the music, but them hosting the wedding. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Sunset. I've seen some pretty bad ones.
Me too. I'm like, are you going to play anything yet? Like, I need to get some dancing pictures. I've been here for 2 hours.
It is funny, though, just going to so many weddings. I always say, I'm like, I've tried every kind of wedding cake, trust me.
I have too. And I always have my favorite, like, oh, yay, they're catering. I like theirs.
I did one, a photo booth. It was during the pandemic, and it was like an hour west of here. I don't remember the town, but it was on this family like farm / hunting ground, and man, it was gorgeous. It was so beautiful, and all the trees. It was during the fall, and they had this giant pond, and they had these big tents set up, you know, and they had like 2 stages for like bands. It was an all out event, yeah, for sure. But that was like the last event I did. I've done in a while, and that was like the best food I've ever had. And it was just a small place that was in their town, like this small town catering.
Those are the best ones.
So good. I wish I could think of the name of it so I could give them a shout out, but I cannot.
I like those small ones. I like the home. You know, it's special to them. They put the tents up, and they have like the mom and pop place do the catering.
Yeah, those are cool. So Valentine's Day.
It is
coming up here this Sunday. Well, this will probably air after Valentine's Day, but even still, I know you do the boudoir.
I do.
Did I say that right?
Boudoir, yes.
How? I assume that most people know what that is, but maybe give a little.
Well, were you on the thing? Well, so if you ever look up the definition of boudoir, I'm like, wait, what? It's like it's private sitting room. And like, you know, I was like, so, you know, boudoir is, you know, I feel like it's, you know, for women. I do only women, you know, empowering. It's very confidence building.
Sorry, babe. She wouldn't do the boudoir photos of me for you.
I say no. I would say, I don't know where to put it. Like, it's just the ladies. I've done couples, so I know I can do that nicely. But, you know, it is such an empowering, it's more than an hour because I have a hairstylist come in. I have a makeup artist come in. You know, it's several hours. They feel beautiful. They kind of the same thing as a wedding. Like you said, you get this back and you're like, oh my gosh, it's great. These women come in and some, you know, are a little shyer, so they're covered more, and some have it all exposed, and it's awesome. And I've done brides for their husbands for a present.
For sure.
I've done.
Well, my wife gave me. I don't think it was for our wedding though. I think it was just before. She did it one time. Gave me a little book.
Oh, really? See, I do the little book.
Yeah.
I've had guys. I did one girl, and he must have did cars or something, and she did like Camaro T-shirt, and we had it like ripped, and
that's cool.
And he had like huge posters put in his garage.
There you go.
Which is pretty hot.
Yeah.
So I love it. I think that it's where I can get a little bit more creative and
let loose a little bit.
Yeah, and push them.
How hard is it to? I mean, obviously, it's going to depend on the woman, I guess, you know, but getting them comfortable, like with the posing and the. So I feel like, you know, a lot of women probably aren't used to trying to pose like that and trying to wear that stuff. And especially being there with somebody maybe they don't really know.
Right. Oh, there's been people that walk in for the first time and I've met. But, you know, wine helps. I definitely have that going.
Loosen it up a little bit.
I'm pretty outgoing, so I'm pretty, you know, easy to talk to. And I tell them it's going to be a workout. Some of them will text me the next day like, I feel like I took a yoga class. Because I'm like, suck it in, push it out, you know. And but, you know, I think it's good. I always have like another assistant helping me, kind of reflecting or having another set of eyes on some stuff. And
I assume your kid's not reflecting that one.
That one he's not. Nope, he's not. He probably would want to, but he's not. Fans are going and music, and honestly, I've done one once, and I want to do another one because it was kind of before I was into it. It was before it was really big. And
when did you do like your first one?
Like 7 years ago.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, so I did it then, and I would like to do one and do maybe like a live, not totally live, but hey, I'm getting my hair done and my makeup done. Am I nervous or how am I feeling? Because, you know, I think that it would be good for somebody to see that. Like, oh,
like a video of her talking about it.
She did it. Like, look, oh, wow, Kristi did it. And then maybe show some of them afterwards. So it's not me just, you know, behind the camera.
Yeah. But, you mean like a video of like them kind of.
Yeah, like getting it ready. This is what you'd kind of expect or something. You know, like this is how the day would go. Because I think some girls are like
a little standoffish, like worried about doing it.
Right. You know, the ones who are on the fence where they're like, I would love to do that, but I could never do that. Yes, you could. Look, you could do it. And I think that people think too, like, well, if I lose weight, then I'll do it. But that isn't even the case. Like, I'm all about like, embrace where you're at right now. Who knows what's going to happen later? We don't know. So just embrace it and embrace all those curves.
Definitely. And I, you know, I think that, I think it's cool that, you know, being able to take like a, you know, a beautiful photo like that and help someone feel good in their body, like that's pretty cool. You know
I love it. I love when they walk away and they're like, this was so fun.
Yeah.
I love when they text me and say, I had so much fun. I love when they get their album or their gallery and are like, I'm crying. These are so beautiful. And I love when the husbands later will be like, Kristi, thank you so much.
That's funny.
I love it. I do. I just love it. I've never had a bad experience with it though, so nobody's ever hated it.
Take that down on one of these.
Yeah, no.
That's good. Yeah, because for some reason I could see that happening. But do you think, this is just random, popped in my head, because you think about social media nowadays and how many girls are like trying to pose and look sexy on social media. Is it going to be easier for women, as you know?
You mean to do it because they see it?
Older, cause
yeah, I mean, you know, I hope. Except for, I think social media is more like makes it scarier. Like, oh, I don't look like that. Oh, I could never do that.
All the filters and.
Oh yeah. Mine are different, and I always say too, every girl that you've seen on my social media has 100% given me the okay.
Right.
So,
yeah, I could see that being something.
9 times out of 10,
I
don't. So it's hard to advertise.
Yeah.
Because most of my girls are for his eyes only or for my eyes only, which I get. Right. Totally, I get it. The little percent let me, so it's really hard to really advertise it because you can only show like this handful.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
So.
You're like, oh, these ones were so good though.
I know. Believe me, I'm like, you sure I can't post it? But I do. I just started a private like Facebook group for women who are thinking about it, who contact me, or women who have done it, who maybe want to share their photos for other women.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? Share them so that people can see, you know, your experience, or even tell them on there.
Yeah.
You know, this was my experience, or if a girl's like, hey, I'm getting ready to do boudoir with Kristi. What can I expect, or what should I bring that you forgot, or something?
Do any allow you to use the photos but not like just post them? Like show them as like an example or something to somebody? Yes,
some of them do have that. Some of them let me post them if it doesn't have their face in it.
Right.
Something like, so you see a lot of booties.
Yeah.
I got a lot of booties on my page.
That's funny. Yeah, no, it's a really interesting thing for sure. I could see the challenges there, getting them in there.
Yeah. But,
go try it, ladies. Get those sexy photos.
Oh my gosh, try it one time. I guarantee you'll want to come back. Every time. I've had a girl come 3 times.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if it, sometimes if it's a confidence booster, if it makes you feel good, I mean, I could see that.
This year for Valentine's Day, I did more of the gift card package so that maybe it's a goal that you can work towards. And I think I did it because I don't feel great after the pandemic. I feel like I'm kind of still in a so maybe like book it for March 26th.
Yeah.
And that is a goal. I'm going to, even if you don't change what you look like, when you're working out, you feel better.
Yeah.
So.
I can definitely see that. A lot of people, what were they calling it? The COVID-19 or something. Like 19.
I thought it was like COVID, freshman 15, COVID 25 or something. Oh.
Yeah, no, I guess that's a good idea though. That you did it, kind of pushed it that way a little bit for those.
I did this year, and I think it was selfishly me. Like I was like, I wouldn't feel like it this year. I think it's been a hard year, so let's set a goal. And I still have like my stylist and makeup artist all involved, and so yeah,
nice.
I'm excited. I have a lot coming up.
Perfect.
They've booked them.
Get prepared.
Mm-hmm. I'm excited. I bought a new headboard the other day, and it's like velour, like royal blue. It's so sexy.
Nice.
I'm real excited.
Yeah.
Hopefully one of them will let me post it.
Yeah. Have you ever seen something you might be interested in? We did this for our bedroom. It's this company called Vant Panels. And I don't know if it'd be good for you or not, but the interesting thing would be is these panels, you install this mounting system on the wall.
Yes.
And the panels just click into it. But it creates this like awesome headboard. But they have so many different kinds of panels that
you could
at
even
some
change
point,
it out.
Yeah, I was going to say you could kind of swap out the panels with different ones. I don't know. I think you have a lot of brick though, right? I would hate to screw into a bunch of brick like mounting brackets.
But I do have another wall that's like white, and I love it because I can change it. It's so different. Mm-hmm. I can put a bed on the white wall, and then I swoop it over and do a brick wall.
Yeah.
I think the new headboard was kind of my thing where I'm like, I could see it on the brick.
Yeah. No, I love our bed now. I'm trying to remember how much it was. We did a king bed though. You wouldn't need anything that big, but they're pretty neat. They actually even in office spaces, they show them in office spaces and stuff like that. I'll show you a picture afterwards. But I didn't even think about that for like a photography purpose. But they're pretty cool. They just look nice. We did like a blue. Is it velvet? I don't know. It's real sexy, I guess you could say.
See, you guys need some sexy pictures in your bedroom.
Who's to say we don't have any?
Oh, okay.
No.
You have two under 2. I don't think it.
She wants another one.
Wow.
I'm like, I want to be able to do stuff again, but no. I love our kids.
Boom, like I did. Then
you had twins.
I did.
Wow.
I had 2 boys, and then I had 2 more boys. So everybody's like,
Two sets of twins?
No,
Oh, okay.
I had a boy and a boy, and of course, I mean, I hate to say this because I love them, but I was wanting a girl probably. So I was like, try for that
mom.
girl, and then there's 2 boys. I was like, what?
Boy, mom,
but now,
meant to be.
What in the world would I do with a girl in that mix?
Yeah, that'd be rough. She'd have a lot of people looking out for her.
She would. I love it, but I always hate to say it because they're like, you wanted a girl. I'm like, no, I didn't.
Maybe a little, but
I'm fine
after
now.
you guys.
Right. No.
No, that's fun though. Yeah, it's been fun. Their kids they're crazy.
Isn't it fun?
2 under
and
2,
every
man,
year
nuts.
though, like each stage, like this stage is sweet. You're at a sweet stage, but it's hard.
My son ain't sweet right now. He is. He can be the sweetest little boy, but man, I think he's not even 2 yet. And I'm like, are you in your terrible 2s right now? Is that what's going on? You just early starting.
Well, you know
these
it's
things?
called horrible 3s. Terrible
Yeah,
2s,
great.
horrible 3s. Sorry about that. I think every stage, like, oh, I love this stage. I have teenagers.
I was
teenagers.
terrible, so
Were
I'm
you?
probably just getting punished. That's what my mom said. She said I would throw the worst tantrums, and yeah, she said I was bad.
I can deal with tantrums.
Were you bad as a kid?
Yeah, I mean, I think that I was a rebellious teenager.
What about as a kid though, like a baby, like young?
Oh, I'm sure I was. I'm sure I was great.
Because my understanding is gingers are a little fiery.
Are they? Are you fiery?
That's why I was wondering. I mean, I got a little bit of a temper, and I could see if I was a little kid, I probably would freak out.
My 17-year-old
probably where my son gets it from.
Kill me, but when he was little, he's one of my redheads. I have 2 out of the 4, and he used to get so mad he would bang his head on the floor, and I because his little temper was so bad. And he's actually my middle one, and he's now my boxer, and he's like tough and whatever. Yeah. So, but I remember being like, "What in the world?" Like,
my son flings his head back, and he's hit the ground with it. So I can understand where that's coming from.
I don't want people to think anything. He's got a knot on his forehead. Church people, hey, I'm checking him in. I promise.
Punched him.
Right.
Told him to keep it straight. What?
He didn't. So.
I'm trying to think of seasons. So what's next? You're got kind of boudoir with around Valentine's Day.
It is.
It's going to be turning springtime.
Which is wedding and seniors. Most of my 2021 seniors are done. Those late bloomers who are like, I forgot, we need to get these. Usually it'll be boys. They're the boys. I was going to say, it's these moms who finally convinced their kid to do it. But I'm actually right now doing a senior ambassador program. So it's super cool. It's my first year, actually. I've always just had seniors come to me.
What's that mean exactly?
So I'm actually going to have like a little team together, and
like people helping like recruit other seniors. Yeah.
So what it is I'll do like they get some photo shoots, some group ones and individual. I'm doing like one in May, and then I will have them have like little cards, and they'll get like $25 gift cards for every referral that comes in.
Nice.
And they'll also get their name in a drawing. And I'm going to do a $500 drawing at the end of the year.
Perfect.
So after the 10 months. And so it's kind of just, you get money for telling your friends how cool it was and to come to me. So that's
I mean, I did that in college selling vacations.
You did?
To get a free vacation to Cancun.
Nice.
I was like, well, all I got to do is recruit, so many friends, and I'll get a free one.
Did you get it?
It wasn't completely free, but mostly.
Okay.
So, yeah. Good old Lincoln Land.
Oh, yeah. Nice. Yeah, it's going to, they'll get a Kristi Mitchell shirt. I'm going to do some pictures in that and do some group ones. And
that's a good idea.
And it'll be fun. You meet kids from all the different schools. And so I'm in that right now.
How are you recruiting them?
Social media. I have the application on a link online on my Instagram and Facebook. And so it's kind of, name, what school do you go to? Why do you think you would be good at it?
Yeah.
Of course, I ask for their Instagram information and
so
whatever.
Any parents out there with those senior kids, get them set up here, get some free stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I think I think why wouldn't people want to do it? I mean, if you're already going to get your senior pictures anyways, and then this can be on top of it.
Yeah.
So this is my first year, so it's kind of my pilot program.
Trying it out.
Yeah.
I think it's a good idea.
Let them tell me too at the end, what did you like about it? What should I have done? What would you guys have liked?
Was it worth it?
Right. And then maybe next year they can help me with the juniors that are coming up. So we shall see.
What is the status of high schools? Are they all back?
So 186 is hybrid, so you go 2 days a week. And when I say 2 days, like my kids are on at 1:30. It's not really a day. It's half.
Yeah.
Chatham is going every day. Rochester goes every day. Most of the schools are going every day.
I want to say Williamsville is.
Every day.
I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm. Most of them are. 186 is, I think it's because it's bigger. They have to kind of separate it. But most of them are. Now, I am doubting a prom is happening.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I was thinking, like, this could be something really cool for, seniors. What if something, happened or whatever?
I did a video shoot at the end of last year for graduation.
Okay.
What was the name of the school? It's the school in New Berlin.
Oh, yeah, the pretzels.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. No, not New Berlin. I'm sorry. Mason City.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember the name of the school, but they did like a drive-through graduation, so they wanted a video of it all, so they could send it out to everybody since you couldn't be there.
Yeah,
it's pretty neat. I had the drone, and they did a drive through the city, so I flew the drone and kind of followed them around with the drive.
Oh, that's
and
neat.
then not me driving and moving; it's illegal.
Of course.
But I flew the drone around and was kind of following them, driving around. And then just kind of mixed in some footage of that, and then everybody coming through and getting their diploma and whatnot.
That's neat.
So, and then I sent it to them, and I think that they were going to send out USBs to all the kids. I'm pretty sure with it on there.
Okay.
But it was cool. It looked like it was fun for the kids. Like they
Gotta do something.
Decorated cars and all came through, and what I mean, with families and whatnot. And so, yeah, that was kind of interesting. I felt bad, though, thinking about it when I left. I'm like, man, all these kids, and seniors especially, they left for spring break
and never
came back.
And they didn't get a prom.
So crazy.
I know. I think the same thing. Like, these prom dresses that they bought, and it got canceled your senior year. Mm-hmm. Like, it's sad.
And just didn't get to say. I mean, I think the people that matter, you'd be able to get in contact with and see or say bye to or whatever. But
right.
There was a lot of people that I probably said bye to that because of Facebook and stuff. Maybe I'm still in contact with them or see what they're doing or whatever. Right. But I don't we don't interact. Or see each other. So. That's crazy to think about.
It was. I remember, same thing, and they didn't have a graduation. I ended up shooting for one of the schools for 186 for their graduation, and it was really sad to me. I know they were trying as hard as they can to have something normal.
Yeah.
But it was not a crowd full of people and your friends cheer for you when you go up. It was one family walks and then you leave, and then the next family could walk up. Yeah. It was me just taking, I was the only one in the crowd taking pictures. It was,
right. Give them the big cheer.
Right.
That's funny. Well, let's pull up some of your photography. Okay. Ryan, we got this source fixed. Last time we lost our source. Here we go. Look at this. Is this all seniors right here?
So yes, those are. I'm gonna move this.
You're fine. Yeah, tilt
those
it around.
Are seniors. Like I said, I'm kind of right now promoting the senior ambassador program that I have. So you would be coming to me anyways to get your senior pictures, and then they would get I'm going to do 2 pop-ups, and you're going to get a t-shirt and
nice
all the fun free stuff and all the, I was trying to think what reward would a senior like, and
right.
Money.
Yeah,
that's what
pretty much. That's what I would say. It seems like that's the thing that everybody likes.
Exactly.
There's a little boudoir.
Yeah, there's a boudoir right there.
Nice.
And then there's I was trying to.
That's in your studio right there. That's you, right? Yeah. Let's see that one. Let's see her at the table.
Oh, there's me. Yes.
Okay. Look at that.
Yeah,
that looks cool.
Working super hard. Yeah.
Nice.
Let's see. Oh, and then I think people forget about college graduation.
Yeah.
It's one of those things you kind of you did your senior stuff and you get your cap and gown, and then you kind of forget about college. So I kind of was trying to remind people that may be even a bigger jump. It's the last time you'll ever really see them. They may be from a different state or going and taking a job. So I kind of put those out there. Which is a kind of a neat. Maybe it's a fun graduation present for your daughter and their friends, or get the parents together.
That's a good idea. I didn't even go to my freaking college graduation.
You didn't?
No, I didn't care at that point. I was just,
You're
you know
a
what
boy,
I mean?
you
I was like,
know?
all right, I'm glad to be done with this crap.
That's the thing about being a boy mom. I'm like, man, are my kids going to not get into it? I'm never going to have them do that, but...
Got some family pictures
Oh,
here.
yeah. So that was a huge family.
That is nice.
32 people.
Wow.
So we did that, which is fun.
Sounds like my wife's family.
I think sometimes that I'm sure it's torture, but at the end of the day, I think it's cool when you finally are getting them from other states that come in for maybe to celebrate a holiday or a reunion or something. I really
want
do
to get
like
together,
it.
get some pictures.
Yeah, because you never know. I mean,
I hate like when you forget to do that at like a holiday. Like, I forgot to get a
Right.
picture. Even just with our immediate family, like
Right.
me and my wife and our kids, like, you know what I mean? It's like, damn, we didn't
It
get a
is.
picture on Thanksgiving or something like that, you know, which maybe we did. I don't remember. But,
I forget all the time too. And,
Yeah.
I do it. You know, if you hire somebody though and you have a time,
Right.
then I think you
make sure it's
an
going to be
effort.
good. You're going to have good pictures.
Yep. There's some more seniors and, you know,
Nice.
that's, yeah. Weddings too are come up in the spring. I will start those here shortly.
Yeah,
Spring
it sounds
is
like
busy.
I was gonna say it sounds like you're pretty busy kind of making up some of the other
Right.
weddings. So I think if anybody is needing a wedding photographer and they haven't booked it yet, I should probably see what open dates there are.
Definitely not this spring.
Yeah.
If you don't have a wedding photographer by this spring, I don't know. You may be needing to get married on a Tuesday.
How far out do you see people typically booking? Just I kind of know a little bit from experience, but
I'm booking obviously 2022 easily. I've even booked just the other day 2023.
yeah,
So people are, 2021's pretty much, you've probably gotten your photographer by now.
right.
I do have some like later in the year dates, I think, that are still kind of floating around out there. But 2022 are booking.
Nice.
So, you know.
Got some headshots.
Oh, yeah. So headshots, obviously, you know, like social media, you need to update your headshot. People change what they look like all the time.
Yeah.
So for your business card or your website, or if you have like a business page or something and you need like a
Yeah, want to look
headshot.
professional, clean, good.
Yeah, so there's some headshots.
Yeah, those look good. There's a little kid there.
Yeah, I was feeling him that day. He has a donut hanging out of his mouth. I was like, I feel this kid. I really do.
Is that in your studio too?
It is.
Nice.
So that is all
That's
the indoor ones are my studio. You can see I have the original brick wall and
Yeah. There's a little booty, little boudoir booty.
there's a booty. And I like it. It's a nice booty too. So got the engagement stuff. So you can see I mainly focus on the adults.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just really enjoy them. I love doing seniors and I love brides. Everybody like says, "Are they bridezilla?" I don't have bridezillas.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've only had one that was ever kind of. I don't even know if I'd call her bridezilla, but I see one there with palm trees. Were you somewhere? Or what?
So
Is that
I
a
did. I
friend,
did
or?
an engagement photo shoot in Arizona.
Nice.
So that was fun and.
How'd that work out? Just some friends? Or
Yeah,
was it,
some
okay.
friends. And so, of course, I loved it so much that now I reach out to them and ask them to maybe, hey, does anybody need one? And I was out there
A little vacation,
5 times.
a little work
yeah.
vacation.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm wearing. This is our customer in Maui, Hawaii. While we were on our honeymoon, I picked up this customer. We just got to talking. We were doing scuba diving, and it was fun. It was amazing. And afterwards, I just got to talking with her and kind of told her what I did, gave her a card, and like a year later, she reached out.
And you went out there to work?
No, I was out there on the honeymoon,
Right.
And we did scuba diving, which was friggin' awesome. If anybody's ever out in Hawaii or anything like that, it's really cool because it's like scuba diving, but you don't have to wear as much gear. It's kind of like a
Yeah.
mixture between snorkeling and
I've
scuba
seen
diving.
it. Well, see, because I'm a certified diver.
Nice.
So, but I've seen those scuba, and you don't have to go get all this certification.
Yeah, exactly. So we actually did it. We did it backwards. We did scuba diving before, and then did the scuba diving during when we were going snorkeling on this boat trip or whatever. And it was friggin' awesome. We literally were swimming with a turtle,
Wow.
like through the ocean, like a sea turtle. You know what I mean? It was the most amazing experience. Definitely one of the top experiences of my life.
I love it.
But anyway, yeah, I just got to talking with her. I was filming like on the boat, just kind of like vlog style, just documenting our trip. You know what I mean? And she just thought that was cool. And I gave her a card, and I didn't really hear from her for like, I feel like it was like a year. And then she just reached out one day.
But then she flew you then back out there to work.
No, I didn't even go back out there.
You just kind of...
I had some pictures that I had, and then she sent me pictures, all kinds of pictures. She takes pictures underwater.
Oh, yes.
Because, they sell them to the people or
for
whatever.
Sure.
Or
I'm one of those that pays for those.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we did also. And they were amazing photos. They were worth it. But
right.
So she had a lot of content to give me. And we just communicated, designed the logo, designed the website. The website is still one of my favorite ones I've ever done. It's a really cool website. And now I got a customer in Maui. It's pretty cool.
I love it.
So the other day I received this and like some keychains and stickers and just she sent me like a little gift box of stuff. So it was neat.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I want a client in Hawaii.
I know. I'm like, are you ready to do something out there?
You need some new video footage.
Do we need to come film a promotional video? What's going on?
And then there's this girl who's amazing at photography, and she comes with me.
One thing she loved was that I had red hair, a big red beard, because she's like, redheads underwater, they photograph so cool. And she took all these photos, and they looked really neat. It was like your hair just looks like crazy underwater because you use like a different filter when you shoot underwater. It's like like a red filter type of. I don't know what the actual name of it is.
So is it like real dark? I bet your hair looks real dark.
It looks red, like
right,
like like
red.
Yours has like a little bit of like
strawberry blonde,
red, yeah. And mine's a little like dark red, dark red a little, and I got a little bit blonde, I guess, in mine too, whatever. But it looks like a red color, like almost like this.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. They're cool photos for sure, especially the whole turtle situation. That was crazy.
I took my boys to Mexico, and we did a trip like a scuba diving, and there was the underwater photographers taking pictures, and of course they got me. They're like, you can have all these for $1,000, your kids, and I was like, okay. I mean, I'll never get those memories back.
Yeah, that's funny. No, it was an amazing trip. Beautiful place. Gotcha Snuba, if anybody's in Maui, Hawaii.
Gotcha Snuba. I love it. What island? Oh, it's in Maui.
Maui, okay. Yeah, which was beautiful. We were trying to decide where to go. I think it was a good mixture of, I don't want to say city, but, having some life or whatever. Not a giant city like Honolulu.
Yeah. I know my brother likes Kauai a lot, but I think it's
that's more. I think that's more like
low key.
Yeah, low key. Mm-hmm. So I think Maui was a good balance, as far as I know, at least. That's the only place in Hawaii I've been. So
that's on a bucket list of mine.
Yeah, it was awesome. Highly recommend. Well, I didn't even ask you at the beginning. I texted you. Ah, man, you're gonna interrupt me over here. No, hardest part of being a small business owner.
What's the hardest part?
Hardest part. I usually do this at the beginning and then save it for the end, and I just fail sometimes.
Well, I guess what I would say with me is I think everybody, people have said like, oh, well, you have like your own time. You can do what you want. Are you kidding me? I feel like I work all the time. I think I don't have a clock in and clock out and I'm off at 5 and that's it. I think that's the hardest thing for me is making sure that it falls on me. I am juggling all this stuff. Yeah. My kids go to bed. I'm up editing. I'm making sure that I'm doing my social media. I'm sure that I'm updating my website. I'm making sure that, I think that's the hardest part about it.
And then thinking about what's next.
You're always having to be thinking. And, I've had, friends who are like, oh, I wish I had your job. And I'm like, yeah, working 24/7.
Yeah.
So, it's one of those I had to make myself take off Wednesdays because my kids didn't have show choir and my son doesn't box that night. And so I needed to have like a night for my kids and my family. And so I was like, because I have a hard time saying no. I'm a yeser.
Yeah.
Like, oh, will you do our photographs on Sunday in the middle of when you would need to be not doing it? And I'd be like, okay, yes. So I've had to do that.
It's hard when you own the business because if you say no to something, you're turning away income. You know what I mean? And if that's how you make your money, you don't know what's next. You don't know.
Agreed.
I mean, you do a little bit. You have your weddings planned out, whatever. But still, like, you know, you want to, when the opportunity arises, to have some income and, you know, make sure you're staying in business. You don't know when the next pandemic's going to be.
You're right. And I also don't ever like upset. Like, if somebody wants me to do it, I struggle with saying no to them. I just do. And I had to stop and say, I'm not booking them on one day because it's going to be the one day that I'm not going to shoot. Now, am I up like doing all my stuff on my computer and, you know, marketing? Of course, you know, it's just, it is what it is. But I think that that's probably my hardest thing is juggling.
For sure. And that's also, like I was saying earlier, why I've started to try to get away from booking weekends out so far in advance. Now, obviously, that's basically impossible for you to do because weddings are almost always on a weekend. But, you know, with the stopping doing wedding videos and, you know, looking to sell the photo booth stuff and just kind of move away from that stuff. It's tough because, I mean, it's good money. Again, you know what I mean? You're trying to and
it's hard to turn that down.
Yeah, exactly. So I definitely know where you're coming from. And, you know, I've tried to dedicate weekends for the most part to family or just being able to do stuff that's not work.
Right.
Because I'm the same way. I'll be sitting at home and I'll just be like staring off into the corner, and my wife's like, "What are you thinking about?" And I'm like, man, I
need to do this at work. And
where's my laptop?
Right.
No, that's a tough thing.
It's
You're
hard
always
to turn it off. But again, I guess the great thing though is on the same time, it is awesome to have my hours and I get to take my kids on vacation and, you know, you get to work your hours that you want and, and I get to do what I love. Like, whoever thought that I could do this? Like, you know, in the beginning I loved it just because I loved it. Now I get to do it and love it at the same time. Like, I love that. So
nice.
So that's a cool thing.
That's awesome. Well, what's the best way for people to find you?
Well, website, you know, KristiMitchellPhotography.com, Instagram, Kristi Mitchell Photography, Facebook, Kristi Mitchell Photography.
It'll all be, we'll link everything for everybody, but
pretty easy.
Yeah, definitely. Kristi Mitchell with 2 L's at the end, correct?
With a K, Kristi with a K. Yep. The redhead. You know, I need to do like the hire the redhead or, you know, some catchy slogan.
There you go.
Can think about that.
So funny story real quick. I started this I started changing a bunch of my personal like social media handles to Bearded Red 13, and I made this like little like faceless icon where it's just like a red beard and a red hair or whatever. And I was using it and it was pretty funny, just just a fun little thing. And then a photographer, he takes out a billboard in town and basically has the same, it says like hire the beard or whatever, and basically is the same icon. And everybody starts messaging me like, I saw your billboard, man. This billboard, you know what I mean? And I'm like, wow, this guy had a marketing fail because everybody thinks that's me.
That's me. I know exactly who it is. And I was actually going to say it right before, like hire the redhead or whatever. But
it was pretty funny. I felt bad for him. I was like, man, I hope that's like working for him or someone knows that people know who he is at least, because I have so many people thinking that's me right now.
Oh my gosh. So. You should have been like, hey, can I throw you a little bit and put my stuff on there?
And on the flip side, if anyone's actually calling that phone number, obviously it's going to him. But it was pretty funny.
Yeah, but it's kind of, I think that it got him. Like, I know that I would say that. I remember when he was, saying that and doing that. So, yeah. Yes. So, like the little ginger fiery photographer.
Have you ever seen they have like what do they call it? Do they call it Ginger Fest? I don't know. They have something up in Chicago.
Do they?
And it's like, I was like, man, I got to go up there sometime. It looked crazy. I saw pictures and I was like, God, there's so many redheads. That's crazy.
I love when I go into a restaurant and even see like 4 of them. I'm like, oh my gosh, look at them. They're everywhere. And there's like 4. We're taking over.
Have you ever seen the South Park?
Yes, of course, because that's why everybody's like, you don't have a soul, do you? I'm like, oh, geez, okay, you watch South Park.
Yeah, taking over.
Right.
All right, well, really appreciate you coming on, Kristi.
You.
It was great chatting with you, learning about your business.
Thanks so much.
So just a little recap, boudoir photos, senior photos, wedding photos,
Yep.
engagement photos.
Headshots if your business needs one.
Yeah, headshots.
Yep.
Go check her out, Kristi Mitchell. She's got a studio downtown. Set you up, make sure you're looking good, and you got some good photos and memories to hold on to.
Sounds good.
Thanks for joining me,
Thank
Kristi.
you.